Nerdrotic.com.
There it is. I don't know what was wrong with my sound effects. Yeah. Going in raw today, folks, because we don't have a lot of time. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. It's hump day. It's hump day, and the Acolyte is over. A lot of YouTubers are going to be sad. Let me be the first to say I fully support the hashtag renew the Acolyte. So put that out there for completely selfish reasons. Put that out there because there's a lot of questions left with this series. Lesbian Headlamp said that it would end satisfactorily. It would feel like a season one, while leaving some nuggets for season two. No, it's a cliffhanger. It's straight up as a cliffhanger. Doesn't answer a lot of questions. The more I go over it, the more questions I have, and the worse it actually gets. And I'm only in to the first 6 minutes of my rewatch right now. That's all I could take this morning.
Well, I never thought when I was a kid and, I saw Darth Vader, amazing character, and you see the scene where he force chokes a dude.
Mm-hmm.
That would not be the first time that if
a black woman did it first. A black woman did it first. As I predicted yesterday and earlier on in the season, the Coven of Communist Lesbian Space would be the inspiration for what Darth Plagueis and Darth Sidious did when they started manipulating the Force and I have to agree with Beardo in Disney Star Wars gay relationship and that breaks up badly, and they will be the impetus for all of this. So you even for evil. This is where intersectional feminism just goes nuts because they want to. The reason they do prequels is they want the modern audience to have some sort of stake, and they also want to put their signature on Star Wars. So we're going to go back in time. We're going to screw up George Lucas. We're going to take George Lucas's lore to Harvey's couch, so I can do something. So a diverse woman can do it first. We saw it with Doctor Who, and now we see it with Disney Star Wars. The problem is, a black woman is the inspiration for the dark side of the Force for what happens.
Well, we heard that Leslie Headland
of fatherless black children, by the way. So
right.
I don't make the rules, Chris. I just make the observations. Okay. Sorry, you were going to say something.
No, but I like that she's willing to take those types of people and make them bad. Yeah. Give her a little credit for that.
I don't think she meant to, but they were good in the series. That's the problem. They were presented as good and not even except for a few notable room temperature IQ exceptions that most people, even who were liking the show in the beginning, don't like where it went and don't think the witches were good because they're not.
Well, I got to say, I was going through Twitter and there were people praising it.
Okay. Yes. On Twitter, not surprised at all.
Yes, exactly. Well, what does this say? These two characters, May and Osha, how are they heroes? And what does it say to let's say young girl going with the identity politics thing of I want someone who looks like me to be a hero. What does this say to them? The way that Soul went from, I X-ray girl, I feel a connection to you. I feel a connection. Exactly. And that she ends up killing the guy who trained her. What? What does it morally say about just values we can agree upon to young girls who might see May and Osha as heroes? How are they heroes? I say to you, they are not, because their values are just situational values.
Exactly. They're situational for whatever the plot calls for. They have no through line of values. They have no through line of personality. They switch sides multiple times per episode to where by the end, I'm actually mixing up their names. Oh yeah, that's May. That's Osha. And when the Jedi, the incompetent room temperature IQ Jedi are pursuing them, I'm just I hope the Jedi kill him. I hope they kill him. Yeah. And Basil the space beaver, what the hell was his motivation? Now, Soul was about to kill May. That's what. So but we don't know that. I'm like, is he trying? So when he's chasing her in the ship, he's got her in his sights, in his crosshairs. So is he lighting up a tractor beam, or is he going to fire? I don't know. And then Basil, for some reason, rips out all the wiring and keeps him from firing.
Right.
Why?
What was that about? Yeah.
Why? We never got any. We don't know what Basil. By the way, you want to talk about a loose end in this double cover up? Basil knows everything.
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to be Kaiser Soze at the end. You know what I mean? That's what I was waiting for. Basil was the one behind it all. But no, it made no sense. This was written by amateurs. There's no characterization. There's possible ideas that could be explored by somebody who is talented that might be interesting. Oh yes, they've already been explored in all the books and the comics. These are things that have been explored and done much better. For what I hear, I've read some of it in the comics, haven't read a bunch of the books, but it was the reason they got rid of the EU is just so they could pluck it for their own designs and set up a new Star Wars. And the last card they're going to have to play, Chris, I've been saying this for a long time, is to remake the prequels and the original trilogy in their own image.
Yeah, I can see them doing that and calling it like an Elseworlds thing. Like this is a new interpretation, a reimagine.
A reimagine for a modern audience.
Yeah, reimagine Star Wars, like reimagine Disney. Oh my God. Do we know that creeper lizard creature was Plagueis? Because I haven't read those books involving Plagueis.
It certainly looked like him. In certain artistic, artistic interpretations, as far as I know. Star Wars Theory would be the better guy, but I'm like, when I saw it, I'm like, no. Because we talked about it in the beginning. We're like, it couldn't be that dumb. And we gave Disney Star Wars sweet summer children. I'm just a naive fool. But yeah, that's the first time I saw it. I'm like, is that what? No. Yeah, but it is. It is. It absolutely is. And all they did, folks, for you, if you didn't shoot. So Darth Plagueis is talked about briefly in Revenge of the Sith. Okay. In the opera scene. The EU fans will know him. Anybody read the comics will know him and all that stuff. But normie fan, probably not gonna. They're gonna go look it up. And they're gonna require it. And I don't know everything about him. But he's in the show in a cave, spying on Little Wang, and I'm sorry, I got to get it right. Diverse, non-binary protagonist who's now the antagonist, which is Osha. And that's it. So I was thinking, well, shit, he's going to show up at the lightsaber duel at some point. Going, you've all fell into my trap. No, he's just creeping in a cave, spying on him, and that's it.
One shot. That was it.
Oh, and the big setup for Jedi Master Nepo was Little Wang's master. And it's a throwaway line. There's no confrontation or anything. She just gets out of a ship and goes, how did he survive? Do. That's it.
Right.
That's fucking it.
Yeah, you're right. It is more of a cliffhanger setting up future stories. It doesn't really resolve much.
No.
And much at all.
Well, a lot of time was wasted again in this episode. So this was a longer episode. It's 48 minutes. So I think it's actually 41 minutes of actual time on the screen. And I'll do the math for my video of like how long this series actually was. Yeah. And a lot of it is wasted. Like we had the cliffhanger at the end of episode 6. Like, I'm going to tell you everything. And then we go to an entire flashback. Then we get back to that scene and May escapes easily. Because Soul, the Jedi Master, who restrained May, decided not to frisk her and take the little Pip robot, who was your get out of jail free card for everything in this show. So she escapes easily. They crash on a planet now, just like her sister. She crashes and survives. Fine, whatever. Soul lands pretty close to her. Fine, whatever. And then because OSHA put on the helmet, she was able to see where her sister was. And then she's all, I had a vision. This is where they are. And I want to stop. I want to stop May from killing Soul. I had a vision of Soul being killed without a weapon. And Little Wang says, well, we're both going to have to go separate. And I have a ship. And then she goes, well, let's go together with totally different goals and see who gets there first. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, what the fuck?
And the one thing they got right in the show is women drivers in space. They're terrible.
They're terrible.
They crash.
She shuts off his own ship.
To hit?
What's that?
Isn't there less stuff to hit in space?
Exactly. Well, crash landing.
Well, you know what? She managed to find something to hit in space, the rings of a planet,
exactly.
which, which that must have been really soft ice that they were running into, because that would have just made Swiss cheese out of their ship. I mean, all you have to do is like put shields up or something. Nope, they just have it flying through the rings of the planet at full speed. No problem, whatever. But this is the people who brought you Fire in Space. So she has a vision. They're going to go together. They're against each other. So this is May, who is diverse female antagonist again, who was a protagonist who was formerly an antagonist. But then she turns into a protagonist again.
Exactly.
Are you following me?
Well, this is the okay. I just want to confirm that when you were watching the end, I got confused of who was May and OSHA.
I did too.
Sometimes I'm like, wait, that's okay. Because some things are in close up, whatever. And then,
well, they are the same person in two bodies. And Amanda Stenberg, with her acting range, was able to play them both exactly the same.
She is. She's probably a good actress, but not in this.
I would question that.
I never saw that movie, The Hate You Give. Never saw it. But no, like that concept is dumb because she is two people and they have different ideas about things.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it important that they're the exact same person, but twins? What does that matter? Why is that significant?
Asking, no, that's something you could actually explore. How do you get one personality? Are there two sides of the personality? What's going on here? They didn't explore any of it. They just said it's a virgins.
They never answered it, and they never
answer. They never answer where the virgins is. We're assuming it's the tree.
Yes, but when Soul says virgins, it sounds extra creepy. It sounds so creepy.
I need to find the virgins.
His accent got worse as the show went on. Where I'm glad I had the closed captioning on so I could understand him. And, it was just.
God bless the audio description, too.
We did a live stream last night, and thank you for showing up. I really appreciate that. That was great. And after you left, Alan and I were just sad. We were just. I didn't have like, that was so bad it was even good. It was just a sense of sadness about the end of this franchise and how a group of untalented, vindictive people, because if you look at the fans of this, and if you look at everyone who speaks about it, they speak with almost a disdain for the fans and for the old Star Wars, or what Star Wars used to do, or was represented.
There's an accidental meta line. I tweeted it in this show. There's an accidental meta line when Jedi Master Nepo, we'll get through this, is finished with her frame job, says, while this is a tragedy, this is the work of one flawed man. And I said, this is exactly what Disney thinks of George Lucas's Star Wars. That's exactly what they think it. This needs to be fixed. So that's the approach towards every IP right now.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not an IP. Okay. Is there any IP out there
that
is
older?
Not. What's that?
That's older.
Yeah, that's older that has been untainted.
Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call that an IP on the level of that was just an accidental thing. Evil Dead, although it's gone, but Ash versus Evil Dead. I don't know about the freaking Evil Dead with girls remakes. It's no Evil Dead without Ash. But so I don't count those. But like Ash versus Evil Dead is like the Cobra Kai of horror. It's fucking wonderful.
This new Alien movie. We'll see. But who cares?
It might be good, but you're just retelling Alien in between Alien and Aliens. It's the most, and it's probably going to be serviceable. My prediction, it'll be like entertaining and completely forgotten. I could be wrong. I hope it's great, but like
it is Fox, so maybe. But
would it kill you to have a dude fight an alien once?
Well, I don't know how much people care about the Twister franchise, but having seen Twisters, don't get your hopes up. It's total girl boss shit.
So yeah, we have a whole rest of the year filled with sequels and prequels. The biggest disappointment so far for me is War of the Rohirrim, which is just bait and switch girl boss bullshit.
You confirmed?
Yes. Helm Hammerhand's daughter, who is mentioned in a fucking sentence, is the front and center. Front and center. And you would like, I'd like to see this Helm Hammerhand. That's pretty interesting. Nah, he'll be in the background supporting his freaking daughter who's leading. Yeah. I was so looking forward to that, and I heard that. I'm like, oh. And then I saw I told you about it yesterday, the Terminator Zero anime that's going to be on Netflix. I'm all, man, the starting of the trailer, I'm like, okay, look, the Terminators are being made. And then they're like, these are going to destroy the world until they come up against me. And it's like a girl fighting. And I'm just like, and it could be fine, but now my first reaction is, fuck. Not again. That's what happened to Furiosa. So many people were just like, Jesus, I'm sick of this. I'm so sick of this. And it's a trope. It's a really bad trope. And yes, it does suck because sometimes there'll be a good movie in there that people won't even bother with for good reason. Hollywood doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt. I mean, look at Star Wars. Look at what we just watched. This is the worst Star Wars ever made, like without a doubt. Most damaging to the lore, I'm going to say no. Even though Ki-Adi-Mundi's in there, even though this is the impetus of the prequels, but this is for me anyway. When you shit on the original trilogy, that's the worst. That's the worst crime you can fucking do to Star Wars is shitting on the original trilogy. And Kenobi managed to do shit on both the prequels and the original trilogy. So that, to me, that is the worst. And then there's the Disney trilogy, which shits on the characters afterwards. So in your headcanon, you could just say, fucking shit don't count. But it's when they start going in the past, right? And you were pretty correct with the Acolyte by saying that this might end up being the timeless children of Doctor Who, or of Star Wars. And in a way, it is. In a way. Not as bad. You didn't go back in time and turn Anakin Skywalker or Luke Skywalker into a black girl. But, like, they're close. They're close. They're inching their way up there.
Yeah, it's so I think that here's what's going to happen. Leslie Headland will be doing damage control, and she is going to pitch publicly for season 2.
Yes.
Watch.
Yes.
Yes. She will be doing that because they're watching, and she knows everything she says. It hasn't. If it was greenlit, we'd know. So she will.
And these usually. And these usually are greenlit, Chris. Like, I think there's rare exceptions. Like Sandman took a while to get greenlit. They might be regretting that a little bit, Netflix right now. Wow, that story went away, didn't it? Poof. The Neil Gaiman story just went away. Just blew into the... I'm telling you, the events of the past weekend were tragic, horrible. I don't mean to make light of them, but the happiest people about this weekend, at least for a little time, they got a little respite, were Leslie Headland, Boogie, and Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
Look up the Neil Gaiman stuff. We already talked about it a little bit, but and innocent until proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty. That's what we do here. So dude, the ending of the show. The back of Yoda's head. Oh, wait. But before I get into that, let's share this. Disparu found this from episode 6. The audio description. This is great. This is fantastic, dude.
Oh, no.
Listen to this. Listen to this.
She ignites the lightsaber and backs him against the mouth of the cave, holding it to his throat. Her anguished eyes stare at him unfocused. Pressed against him, she meets his sympathetic gaze. He gently takes hold of her arm, the red blade still throbbing right in front of his throat. Osha gazes deeply into his eyes, then backs off and lowers the saber. Off her conflicted face, the scene... the red blade still throbbing right in front.
Throbbing?
Throbbing.
Her arm, the red blade still throbbing right in front.
Oh my God.
How does a lightsaber throb?
Dude, in my watch party, I was laughing my ass off on this. I was having so much fun watching it, just fucking roasting it. It's like the easiest, it's the lowest hanging fruit there is, folks. I mean, you got to enjoy these good times. They come around so rarely when something is so universally bad, you could just fucking laugh at it. I used to be disgusted. Now I try to be amused. That's the best thing you can do. That's all you can do. I mean,
is it too late to get that in your supercut?
No. No, I don't care. It's from 2 episodes. That's going to my next video. Good. I'm finishing up with a review. I'm going to record it today. It'll be out tomorrow. And then I think Monday we're going to do a supercut of just the review, all the reviews together, clipping here and this and that out, but making a supercut. We're also doing that for Rings of Power. A couple weeks, maybe. Maybe I'll do a month before it comes out. I'm going to do a supercut of my season 1 reviews. Why not? I stole the idea from the Y-Files. I stole the idea from the Y-Files. They do compilations and stuff, and I thought, that's a pretty good idea.
It's a great idea. Because I watch those, get caught up on this.
Yeah.
I want to watch a Rings of Power season 1 roundup of all your videos.
Yeah. Got to get ready. I'm happy. Like the next review after this is going to be Deadpool and Wolverine, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, that could be fun.
Hopefully it's good.
I'm seeing it Monday.
You're seeing it Monday.
I'll text you.
You're not waiting to see it first with all of us plebs on Thursday. No, I know you got to. No, dude. If I had access to see it Monday, I'd see it Monday too. So, don't worry.
But we have to figure out who all's going. I'll talk to the organizer, the person in charge.
Oh, I've already put in our names for Thursday.
Okay. Yeah. No, I just how many tickets I have. So we'll figure it out. Okay. So at the end of the episode, you see the back of Yoda's head. So let me review the episode real quick. It'll be fast because a lot of it is just running around, getting to a place. Jedi Master Nepo and the Jedi finally they figure out where Soul is, and everybody is converged on it's back on Brendok. They're back on Brendok, right? So they're back at the fortress that has been burnt out for 16 years. Drinker pointed this out. Osha manages to hotwire a facility where the generator blew up and the electricity still works. Yeah.
And remember, their justification for the fire was the wires burned to blow up the generator, which generates the electricity. So she was able to hotwire it, get in. Everybody gets in after this big chase. Jedi Master Nepo takes her sweet ass time, and there's a confrontation. Okay, so Soul battles Lil Wang. The battle was fine until they did their Matrix floaty down thing, which was cringe, absolutely cringe. Soul gets the best of Lil Wang, but then he gets overtaken by. This is where I started getting mixed up. It was May who stole his lightsaber from his hand and then throws it to the ground and crack. No, yes, it was May who throws it down. And I thought the kyber crystal broke, but something broke in the lightsaber. Apparently they can break when you just throw them down. That must be, I don't know, weaker technology from or worse technology from 100 years before. I don't care. And then OSHA shows up. So he gets overpowered by the women, right? And there's this confrontation, and we see a ship go over, and I'm like, that's Plagueis. I couldn't get a good eye on the ship. No, it was the Jedi. And Lil Wayne goes, they're not coming for us. They're coming for you. I'm like, no, they're actually coming for you too, if those are the Jedi.
Yeah.
But good thing the Jedi took their sweet ass fucking time, because then that ship goes and lands and we don't see them for the rest of the fight. May steals Soul's lightsaber and decides that he is going to go to justice. He killed our mom. We're going to take him in front of the Jedi Council. They covered up. Blah, 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 blah. So she's good again. May is good again. OSHA hears the confession from Soul that he killed her mother, which he didn't do. Her mother decided to rematerialize her ass on a lightsaber. She killed herself.
It was an accident. I saw it as an accident.
And he never says it's an accident. And by the way, Moss Windu must have killed. She only killed the dozen witches that were doing the chant. That wasn't 50 or 38 witches doing that chant. It was like a dozen. So the remaining witches died in the fire that May set. So remember, May is killed, responsible for the death of 2 Jedi. She's killed a bunch of space witches. And now OSHA will be responsible for a death because she does the very first Force choke. And while she's doing the this is what I'm hearing, it's the first Force choke. I don't know. It's just on Twitter. That might not be the case. It's supposed to be the first Force choke in Disney Star Wars anyway. We'll say Disney Star Wars, not Star Wars. 2 separate things. And as she's angry, she grabs Soul's broken lightsaber and cuts her. I didn't understand what was going on. I saw the kyber crystal going from blue to red. And it was the chat that said, no, she's bleeding on it. And I'm like, no. So she grabs the lightsaber, she bleeds on it, and she just does the ritual. That theory right now is pointing out on Twitter that like this isn't something you can just fucking do, right? But apparently, because it's a diverse, non-binary protagonist who is now an antagonist, easy peasy, barely an inconvenience. And she bleeds on the kyber crystal, and the lightsaber turns red as she chokes Soul. And what are Soul's dying words, Chris? You do it so well. You're muted.
Soul's dying words. I rob you. Well, he doesn't complete his sentence, but he's about to say, I rob you.
And he dies.
I love you. Here, and the May and OSHA fight was really interesting. Check out this from X, the May and OSHA fight.
Oh yeah, they fought. They had a little karate fight.
May and OSHA fought. Here, I think this might be.
God.
No, go ahead.
Hey, dude, no. Did you see how close we got to scissoring, by the way? We actually got this close to scissoring. I was like, oh, we just missed it. Okay, here, I think, yeah, we've got, here's the, okay. This is extended footage. This is exclusive here to the Nooner. X-Ray Girl, you can share it anytime you like. There you go.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
We're ready.
So this May and OSHA.
Wow.
Look out for music.
Oh.
Okay, let her up. Let her up. Let her up. Let me go. Stop.
I like how that girl's hadn't stopped filming.
Oh my God.
Bad.
All right, pause it. That's enough.
Yeah, what's so funny is I'm watching the man OSHA fight, and I'm thinking like I've seen a million videos like this online. You know what I mean? When I'm watching the fight,
Mm-hmm.
to myself, I'm like, oh God, this is so dumb. It's so dumb.
It is. I like how they always go for the hair too.
She should have cut her hair with her
Yeah,
lightsaber.
they could have gone for the hair.
So there was a May and OSHA fight prior to them both flipping sides again and then killing Soul. So Soul dies this pathetic piece of shit, basically.
Yeah.
And all the Jedi, and the way it's presented is these Jedi deserve to die. Now, that's not the way I saw it in the series. That's not the way you saw it. The Jedi had every fucking right to be there based on them locking the doors. And they even brought it up. And she's like, I locked the doors because you were going to break in. It's like there was a fire in your highly flammable stone structure that you set. And the way it presents it is May and OSHA are all justified in what they did. And
Yes.
this is what happens when you have people who have no moral barometer, have no idea what good and bad is, have no idea what heroism is. They have no fucking idea, no clue. Because their whole culture, they being in Hollywood, the whole fucking culture is backstab who you can, do whatever you need to get where you got to be whoever you need to get where you are, and have strategic friends. And be ready to betray somebody and be ready to be betrayed in an instant. It's a soulless fucking culture. Chappelle called it out a long time ago. And it's been going on for far too long to where it's entrenched now, to where writers who have no fucking life experience at all outside of, living at their mom's house or being in this insular Hollywood culture have no idea what the real world is. And they can't tell stories anymore.
This show represents the values of Leslie Headland.
Yes.
Which are corrupt Hollywood values. And by the way, I know a ton of people that are like her, that are like that. They're like, what do you need me? What do you need me to be? I'll be that. That's man OSHA. I'm this minute because it's convenient.
Yep.
I'm
chameleon.
I'm changing for this because it's convenient. And she's justifying who she is in the show, but devoid of any value. This is why I say, for the people who like the show and that see themselves in either May or OSHA or both or some version, how is she a hero? She's not even a good anti-hero.
No.
There are anti-heroes who do bad things, who eventually come around. Han Solo started as an anti-hero. He didn't care about anyone but himself. What happened at the end of Star Wars? Had a change of heart, right? That's a great story. That's a great hero. May and OSHA are not great heroes.
There's no redemption.
Yes, there's no one to look up to in the show. There's no one I don't identify with anyone in this show because I don't see anything about them that is worth admiring. They're terrible people.
No, there's nothing aspirational about them. There's nothing likable about them. They aren't even given an opportunity of redemption. They're a MacGuffin. They're a fucking MacGuffin in this show. People. Yeah. So, and it's how the characters act around them, and everybody has to act completely fucking retarded for this show to work. And I know with Fallout, that was supposed to be the case, according to the showrunner. Everybody's a little retarded. I can't even give that excuse to this show at all, other than the writers are retarded. But our main characters are completely just planks of wood. That's it. That walk around and are maneuvered to make plot happen. And by the end, we're supposed to be rooting for them. And like I said, I hope the Jedi or Plagueis, somebody comes down and kills everybody. That's the only redeeming thing. Like, it's force choke everybody. But
they're so poorly written. Like, okay, I don't write fanfic or any of that stuff. You don't either.
No.
Whatever. We write it maybe a little in our heads. You know how Luke Skywalker would act in a certain situation, right? Which is why Luke in Last Jedi, he's changed from something that happened off screen that we didn't see. And even when we see it, we think, would he really act like this? He's so different, That's why people don't like that. And at the time I thought, well, give it time. They know what they're doing. Idiot me, trusting. But in this, I know how certain characters would act because they're so well defined. You know how at least old Doctor Who, David Tennant, Doctor Who would act in certain situations. All the great characters in fiction are so grounded, we know how they react. They almost, as they say, and writers say this, it writes itself. The characters end up doing things because they're so well defined. May and Osha all the characters in this show are so undefined, so like that we don't know how they would respond in situations. That doesn't make it good or interesting. It makes it just sad. And that's why I'm saying, like, if young girls are going to watch this,
they're not.
Yeah, but I'm saying if they are, how is May and or Osha a hero? What makes either of those characters heroic? What?
Yeah, I'd love to hear lesbian headlamps answer to that question. Sorry.
Yeah.
But to what you said earlier, this is a reflection of her values, and that's exactly what she said when she took on the show. This will be a reflection. I'm paraphrasing, but this will be a reflection on my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, working for Harvey Weinstein, I am 100% certain that she was put in situations that were morally ambiguous. And I can just say that's a Tuesday in Hollywood.
Yes.
Where people act horribly. And look, I was peripherally involved. I had a TV career for over a decade, whatever. But I can tell you, having worked with agents, managers, having talked to people, pitch shows, I sold some TV shows. I sold a show to FX. I worked on a bunch of stuff. But even at the small level I was at, I saw that kind of behavior happen, and it's rewarded. What values do I need to have to get the thing I want? That's what I'll do. And that's that's what this show reflects.
You're absolutely, I love that you said it. It's rewarded, because that's the one thing. I worked below the line in Hollywood. Yeah. Okay. Below the line, like in a profession that wasn't even unionized, and I wouldn't have joined if it was. And I was a contract worker, right? People were willing to just backstab you and talk shit for an $18 an hour job, which was pretty decent at the time. But still, for I had a guy when I was working at Ascent Media, and we were chaptering iTunes videos. This is back in 2010, right? So the movies, the movie chapters, my job was to get the time codes and input the data so you would see it. So you could jump to your chapter on your iPod at the time.
Oh my God.
And I did the night shift, and another guy did the day shift. So the guy in the day shift was so worried I was going to take his fucking job that he started fucking with my work. Now, for the longest time, I just thought I sucked, right? I just maybe I suck at this. Maybe I can't do this menial task. Maybe it's just me. And then a friend of mine came over and said, bro, he was logging in under your password. He was fucking with your shit. And I caught him. And I fucking caught it. And I'm like, bro, I like the night shift. I don't want the day shift. I like the night shift. That's why I took. That's why I took it.
Oh my God.
Total piece of shit. Total. And that's just a small example of what pilling. And yes, that shit is rewarded. If you are willing to fuck over your best friend, you will make it in Hollywood. You will absolutely make it in Hollywood. And that was at the moment I'm like, I stayed there for a couple more years, but that was like, I just knew right away. I'm like, this is not going to work for me. This is not going to work. But that's the way the culture is. It's a fucked up culture. That's why the whole Me Too thing was just a comedy. An absolute, stemmed from actual real abuse. That still happens today, by the way. You think any of that's just changed? No, just the players have changed. The game remains the same.
Yeah.
And that's why we get former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein creating a Star Wars show because she begged for it on a red carpet. And she got it. And this is the script that made Kathleen Kennedy cry. And it made Star Wars die. Again, a defiled, rotting corpse. That's all this is at this point. But it was funny. I wasn't sad, Chris. I'm over it. I have moved. I was just having fun watching that and just like, oh, man. And when I saw Plagueis, the first person I thought of was Star Wars Theory. And Ryan. But Ryan's just going to go, of course. Of course. You know, I don't think he's.
Wait for Friday. FNT is going to be amazing. It will be one for the ages. FNT. I cannot wait, Gary. Cannot wait.
Yeah, a little Stargrift reunion on FNT. We got Mahler and Star Wars Theory coming on. That'll be fun.
Will Ryan be there? I mean,
yes, Ryan. Yep. I think, yeah. Ryan will be there because he flies.
Well, Thursday is the big day. That's when Trump speaks.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big day for the RNC. So there you go. I've been following Ryan and Jeremy and all their shenanigans.
Yep. Briefly, Mark Hamill.
Oh.
It's just won't stop. And Gina went after him again. I don't know if you can find that tweet, X-Ray Girl. So I guess Trump was praying. He was praying. So he had his eyes closed. And then it was going around the internet that he was sleeping. Right. So Mark Hamill said something like, oh, for once we agree on something, we're sleeping. And like, Mark Hamill is probably watching the RNC.
I doubt it, but you know.
So yeah, here's Gina's response. So show Mark Hamill's tweet real quick. Yeah. So for once I'm with him, GOP snooze fest. Okay, whatever. And this is after Mark Hamill makes fun of the size of his bandage on his ear for being shot. I mean, you're getting close. No, you're at the irredeemable portion of your life as far as character is concerned. Gina nukes him, man. Gina doesn't hold back. It's called praying, Mark. Trump was closing his eyes in prayer. The man was just shot a few days ago, almost losing his life, and another man took the bullet and died protecting his family. What happened to all the talk of not spreading misinformation and disinformation just doesn't count when you do it, huh? Rules for thee and not for me. How's that white Democrat male privilege treating you? Been fired from any jobs recently? Well, he can't get any, Gina. Yeah. He's get some voice acting jobs, but the
Corvette summer reboot is coming soon.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut. Sorry.
No, it'll be black lesbians. It really makes me wonder what the deep state has on you to have your head so permanently jammed up their ass to where all you become is their walking, talking piece of dung. Have you enjoyed all your political free speech and Hitler analogies without any repercussion for the past 8 years? Don't worry, we have them all saved. Strange you weren't canceled or called out for any of it. I wonder if that time is fast approaching for you. Have a good nap.
And I haven't said anything about this because I hate posting about politics on social media because who cares what a nerd movie guy like me thinks about things. But I was watching live the rally because Trump is funny. I mean, he's funny and entertaining, especially off script. I saw that happen live.
Yeah, you called me. Or you text me.
Sure
You text
happened.
me. Yeah.
I texted you. I texted Alan and Dante. I just was I was like, my heart sunk because, and I felt sick to my stomach about one, almost seeing him killed, not knowing what was really going on, what it would mean for this country and the world if that man had died that day. The bravery that he stood up with that now iconic shot, which, let me tell you, that's founding father energy right there. Founding father's energy. With his fist raised, blood on his face. You think Biden could do that? I was like,
I don't think he can raise his fist.
I was riveted to the coverage and disgusted by the comments.
Well,
because if the opposite happened with Biden, I'd be just as sick to my stomach, and it would be just as bad for the country if either of these men are taken out. This is not a good thing. Should never be celebrated or encouraged, or for your birthday wish to say, hope, don't miss him next time. And other people who repeated that don't think seriously about repercussions, that don't with the fucking Kamala Harris is an embarrassment. Her cackling laugh. You should be very serious-minded in the position you're in. And the fact that she's so cavalier about things that matter, and when you see her do that awful, awful laugh, it tells me you are not a serious person who takes what you do seriously, who doesn't understand the position you're in. And what did was it Reagan who called it the bully pulpit? There's that Reagan movie coming out with Dennis Quaid. It's the bully pulpit, right? What you do and how you act matters. What your actions are important. So Trump in that moment, I don't see how he loses now. It's I just don't see how he loses. And I think at this point they're not going to replace Biden. I think he's in because he's a sacrificial lamb. That's it. Just let him lose. Let's count our losses and move on. But a lot can happen. It is a long time to November 5th.
Yeah.
But I was disgusted, sick to my stomach. And I was talking to you. It's the second presidential assassination attempt I have seen in my lifetime. And I have, I mean, look, I'm old. I was born 65. So I've seen a lot. My first memory of something big happening on TV was landing on the moon. I was like 4 years old. I remember it. I actually remember my dad watching the TV and like so excited, riveted to the coverage. I mean, watching on a little black and white TV. So I've seen a lot of history. I have a little more perspective than the current day kids that are so cavalier on freaking TikTok. I've seen things. So I'm a bit more serious-minded about a lot, even though I do have a sense of humor. And there is a time and a place to laugh about stuff. But we're in serious times now. We are teetering on the country ripping apart and or WW3. And sometimes you need an asshole. Sometimes you need an asshole to come in and say, nope, not going to go that way. So I don't know. I'm just very sad to see people out themselves, but happy for people like Gina to point that out. And she, from a position, it's so great. I can't wait for her case. How a person who can at least look at something objectively. Have we lost all ability to be objective? look at what happened to Gina, look at her examples, and not just go objectively speaking. She's got a very good point. And what she said, I remember it was that I never saw it on Instagram, but it was posted, her post, her original post, before she said beep, bop, boop. I looked at that and I was like, oh my God, that's happening. She has a point. This is happening. I have seen people I've known for years, decades, say the most vile things about fellow Americans. It's horrific. Horrific. How could you say that? They are just as American as you are. They might think differently about certain things, but my God, where have we come as a country? So when Trump said he's changed his whole speech based on what happened, I think it's going to be very important. And the best thing he could do is say nothing. Let Biden is the one pushing hate speech at the moment, right? It's all he keeps coming back to stuff that it's cloaked. It's veiled hateful. All Trump has to do, message of unity. Let's come together. We've got challenges. Let's fix this stuff. So there, I finally said something about politics. I can be nuanced when I speak, even though I'm still 10%, maybe 15%, a little retarded. But I say that because I'm a little strokey McWhatever. Just a little. But yeah, I don't like to put out political tweets because it always gets. I like
this
to
is
just
beyond political when a presidential candidate almost gets killed.
Yeah.
And there's massive incompetence surrounding it. Secret Service is in big fucking trouble.
Oh,
and the cops are in big fucking trouble who are there. They fucked up royally. There's that video out there of the, I showed it on the Nooner on Rumble, of the synced up videos. Have you seen that?
Yes,
Holy
I have.
shit. That
There's
is
so much time.
shocking.
Get 'em on stage.
It is
Get 'em on stage.
shocking how much time they had. So there's no excuse. There's no fucking excuse. So we'll find out about that. I think, as said yesterday, what Kyle Gash should have said for a birthday wish is, let's just have some fun. Let's get together and have some fun. He would have had a bigger reaction from the crowd. There would have been more energy, and then ended Tenacious D overnight. He got dropped by his agent, and as I said, then it's a fucking dumb joke, and I'm sure there's some repercussions. Do I want the guy canceled forever for it? No, I don't. I actually don't. Do I want Gina fired? No. Do I want Pedro Pascal fired? No. I think people should be free to say what they want. Do I want Destiny kicked off Kick? No. Actually, no. I think Destiny should be free to sound as retarded as he is. Absolutely, I support it.
Yeah, I've never liked that guy. I don't understand why he's not smart so much as he talks fast and then interrupts a lot.
It's Adderallian. He speaks Adderallian.
Yeah, that's it. And that I could see it coming with his whole, I saw the whatever appearance where he's sort of braggadocious about his relationship with his wife and he sleeps with other girls. I have never in my life seen a couple or a guy that does that where they sleep around. It always ends badly every single time. Yeah. I have never seen it. And the guys that I can do all this stuff. Just wait. She'll meet someone she likes better than you. And it happened faster than I thought, but not a fan of that guy. I don't know why people give a shit what he has to say. I don't care.
The world's a big place. The world's a big place. Yes. But I don't think he should. What he said was fucking stupid, and he was getting properly roasted for it. And that's how we even these things out. We counter speech with speech. Don't think he should be gone at all. I think Alex Jones should be on YouTube as well. Tomac for $20 says, Gary, this may not be anywhere close to how big Star Wars is, but new Kinnikuman series is good so far. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Is that some foreign stuff? No, no, I'm just kidding. And more importantly, respects the original series. All right. John Goetz for $5 says, all right, X-Ray Girl, is Smilo Ren really enough of this thirst trap for all the women to love the show like the Star Wars accounts are pushing?
No, absolutely not. I mean, looks
you did a good job as Soul in Smilo Ren. Or was that Perry? I get you guys mixed up all the time.
Perry. I mean, Perry probably looks like he could fight more than me. So, and I'm very glad I didn't have a throbbing lightsaber.
A big red throbbing lightsaber. Gatekeeper on the Streamlabs side for $10. Hope I didn't agitate you with the super chat last. No, not at all. Did I sound agitated? Not at all. Watch party stream. It'd suck if my favorite YouTuber was uncomfortable, annoyed with you. Not at all. No, he was just professing his love for me. And I'm like, I love you too. That's all I said. I'll try to dial it back to fanboy love. It's all good. It's all good. I enjoy the content. Wish you all continued success and good health. Hail, Gatekeeper. Noon K for £5 simply states nothing to say. Thank you. Thank you for saying nothing. Eric K for $5. Drinker says they can rewrite it how they want Gary's. They can rewrite it how they want Gary's femme voice. They own it. They can make the original gay and fabulous. Fabulous. Tony Soprano for $20. Hail, Tony, you're alive. Oh my God, we got the answer to the end of The Sopranos on the Streamlabs side. The Brazier, is it Brazzers? It's the porn, right? Brazzers. Yeah. Oh. Brazzers. Star Wars adaptation were far superior to the Acolyte. Seriously, can we have more hot red Twi'leks? Walking around. Sure. I mean, sure. I wouldn't know, but sure. Darius White for $20. I mean, Axel Braun has done better parodies, to be honest with you. And honestly, how do you fuck up a coven of lesbian space witches? Well, Disney Star Wars found the way. But they weren't all female. There was a YouTuber in there too. Darius White for $20. Images make campaigns. Dukakis lost the election riding atop a tank looking like Elmer Fudd. This is true. I remember that. Anyone remember Gary?
I remember it vividly. He looked like an idiot. He looked so out of place.
Anyone remember Gary Hart aboard the monkey business? Yes. Gary,
I remember that too.
Gary Hart was the Clinton before Clinton.
Yeah, I was paying attention to politics since I was a kid. I've always watched presidential debates. I remember Carter and Reagan. That's how freaking old I am.
Well, there was a third assassination attempt in our lifetime. Do you remember? Well, you don't remember. Well, I don't remember because I was very young. Ford.
Yes.
President Ford. It wasn't one of the Manson girls or something like that.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And that was at St. Francis Hotel in San Francisco. He didn't get shot though. I don't think. Maybe he did. So let me finish this. Anyone remember Gary Hart aboard the monkey business? Trump won the election as soon as he raised his fist and shouted fight. Yeah. I mean, it's a badass image. The both of them are. There's one where he's just putting his fist up and all the people around him, and Benny made a shirt that's got the parental advisory, and they put it in black and white, and that would be a fucking brilliant album cover. Absolutely brilliant album cover. Jake Payne for $19.99. Hey, Gary, at 7 months being friends with Bill. Congratulations. Your real life truths fun pushed me into the right direction. Good. I'm glad you are who you are. Cheers. I'm glad you are who you are. Who you are. TIS or T1S. I don't know which one it is. For $5. Thank you. Hail from a fellow Michigander, Chris.
Hell yeah.
Rocking the beard. Chris, rest in peace, Star Wars. Hail Gary and X-Ray Girl. And hail the 199. Hail the 199.
Hail.
Ministry of Wrong Think for $9.99. Hey, not to defend the hack woke shite, but in the interest of being honest, the blood samples alone probably wouldn't have been enough proof. The council would assume they sampled the same girls twice. they'd probably ask that, but that's still enough proof to bring, I don't know, Yoda. You don't think Yoda would be interested? I don't know. 1,000 years of peace. 1,000 years of interrupted peace, except for this incident. And they find evidence of a virgins, a nexus that created life. I think that's something Yoda might want to know, since he's there. I say they had the proof. Like, for one, Jedi aren't supposed to lie. Why would they lie about that? But then they do lie quite easily. They cover up murders. They frame fellow Jedi for murders. Jedi Master Nepo, girl boss Nepo, is evil as fuck. And now Yoda's complicit. Because I'm assuming that whole last scene where she's like, we got to talk, she tells him everything, including the Sith. AJ Film Guy for $5. Chris, I'm a passionate filmmaker in Utah and thought I'd ask for your advice in breaking more into the industry. Thanks.
Don't. You should be independent. Make an indie film. So that would be my advice on that. There's a lot. We have a Film Threat interviews channel with a lot of interviews with filmmakers. Watch those interviews for really good advice.
The Netstrack for 100 Danish krona. Hey, Chris, I got my funeral T-shirt in the mail today, just in time. Hail, everyone. Yes, Chris, tell us what's coming up after this.
We are doing our very first. Last year, we did a critics court where we tried Disney and Lucasfilm for the murder of the Star Wars franchise. We're now doing a funeral for Star Wars after watching The Acolyte and seeing how bad it is. I think everyone has come to the conclusion it's dead. So now, and I almost feel like the reason streams like this one and FNT and so many others are popular, it's a form of group therapy. We're grieving for what happened to our favorite franchise, what could have been, the adventures in our head when we played with Star Wars toys as a kid. I didn't collect them. I freaking ripped them out of the box, played with them. They were outside in the dirt and the sand. We played with our figures and invented adventures in our mind. We never got to see that. Never got that. And I think there's a lot of, this is why, like, why do we keep talking about this? We have lost something. So we are going to celebrate with an actual funeral, and people are coming on. Gary, I hope you can join, giving their eulogies. I'll be dressed as a priest here. I'll show this. There's a little preview of my outfit there. Alan is dressed as I think a cardinal. Anyways,
what a lot of normies don't understand, and even some within our sphere, unfortunately, what they don't understand about nerds is we do care this much. And you know what? And I don't care if they think we should care this much or not. And I don't give a shit. And nerds don't give a shit. What these streams are the conversations I had in my comic shop every fucking day before the comic shop. These are the conversations I had working in the record store with my friends Doug and Jay every fucking day, every Friday and Saturday. When we went to a movie together, we had these types of conversations. We'd call each other on this thing called the telephone, not the cell phone, where we had to like rotisserie dial and have these conversations for hours.
Yeah. I reckon when I first started watching you, I'm like, this is just talking nerd shit and shooting the shit with friends.
Yep.
And giving each other shit. I did that when I went to Dave's Comics in Royal Oak, Michigan. I'd go every week and I'd stay for 3 hours, buy my comics in 10 minutes, and then stay and talk. And that's just what this is. And this is how we talk about this kind of stuff. So the funeral will be a fun way to celebrate. A Drinker is showing up. Mahler said he's coming. A lot of your favorites. Az will be there. So a lot of people just rotating in, come in. Shado will be there. I got a whole list of about 50 guests, and we have a lot of special videos to show we've been working on. So
right on. That'll be right after this.
1 p.m.
A little bit after this. Yeah. The infamous El Guapo for 777. Hail, my fellow dad ranters. Dodged an effing bullet, like Super Chad Trump, as Jeremy would say, not watching the Acolyte. What are your thoughts on letting the people behind canceling everyone getting canceled? I'm torn because some of them are evil cunts. I gave them earlier, but if you don't have sympathy, it's different to not have sympathy for them at all, but you still don't want them getting canceled. I don't want them getting canceled. No, I don't.
Same.
I do not. That is my stance. I'm against cancel culture.
At some point, I would hope some would look in the mirror and say, the thing that pisses me off is how dehumanizing it is. In my life, I have not seen this. I'm older than you, Gary. I'm older than you. I have never seen this. I have never seen people dehumanize fellow Americans this way. I've seen people act like assholes and whatever. Dehumanize? It's scary. And Gina was calling it out before anyone. And the way I've seen friends turn in a way that is like chilling. This is what you think about other people that you don't know. It's horrific. Horrific.
And it's sad that they want to hurt other people just for their opinions.
Well, it's
right.
That's not even violent.
They're so emotionally immature. As I say, as I sit in front of a bunch of action figures, but the emotional immaturity with these people, and it's a narcissism brought on by a deep-seated self-loathing. That's an epidemic in our country right now, is just the self-esteem. And it can have an opposite reaction. And a lot of people in Hollywood and in the arts are emotionally stunted because they focus so much on their art and they just forgot that whole becoming a fucking adult and a human. And as somebody who learned these things much later in life because of my addiction, I've gotten to see how you rebuild that, in the program, right? But you also see like how people get stuck in this cycle of behavior and just stay there because they can't look inward. It would destroy them to look inward, because that's the only way you fix it. That's the only way you fix it. That's why there's a generation of kids right now, and there's a generation of really fucked up adults who want to perpetuate their beliefs, which are fully based on a deep-seated insecurity. It's okay to be gay, but it's not to some people, and that gets perpetuated into other ways. And maybe you're not a dude. That like it's okay to be gay. I could get way more into this in Rumble, but that is a huge problem, and it's a problem of an affluent society that has a lot of people who have a lot of fucking time to think about this shit and to think about themselves instead of going out and finding meaning and doing tasks. That's one of the ways you can fight depression, right? I've never had like full-on clinical depression, but I've had moments of it from my addiction, right? And recovering from my addiction. And the way I fought that was, I'm just going to get up and go to the store today. I'm going to just complete a task. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to complete a task. And you make it task-oriented. And when you start accomplishing that stuff, you're taking your mind off it and you're working towards bettering. I'm working towards bettering myself. I'll use my I statements. And that really helped. And I just kept doing that and grinding through it until it just stopped. And then I moved past my trauma and my pain. I talked about it. I do my work, but it's not something I obsess on. You know, that woman was on Joe Rogan the other day talking about like you deal with your stuff and then you move on. You don't keep dealing with your stuff. Like if you're abused as a kid, for example, there's a point where you have to forgive that abuser, or that abuser is just going to own you for your entire life. And it's really fucking hard to do, but you have to do that to move on with your life. It's not really about forgiving the abuser. It's like forgiving yourself. You know what I'm saying? So there's all of that. And it's manifesting into this just horror show on social media because people are at home and alone and they can say whatever they want. And as Drinker said, you know, after the assassination attempt, a lot of masks came off and we just saw that a lot of people are pieces of shit who are broken. They're just broken people. And, you know, hopefully some of them can get fixed and find redemption someday. It's always out there. And they're not, because we now have a society that rewards being broken, which doesn't help the individual at all. And it doesn't help culture at all. Because if there's a bunch of broken individuals pushing culture, then we're doomed. So we have to fight that. But the reason we fight that is we don't give up our principles, our basic principles. We can change and stuff, but we don't give up our basic principles. That would be my solution. I'm retarded too. So, you know, I don't know, but that's the way it goes. Boss Neeson for $4.99. Gary, y'all should have a huge event in Albuquerque, and really take the piss out of George once we hit 5,000 days since A Dance with Dragons is released. We're close. We're about a year away from 5,000 days. We just passed the 13th anniversary. Well, he's in Santa Fe. But I'll be in Albuquerque probably in the very near future because it's where my sister and my mom live. So my other mom, my little sister. I'm going to see my little sister at Comic-Con. You're going to meet her, Chris.
That's awesome.
You're going to meet some family. And my nieces. Epicillion for 10 British pounds. Sith Lord Basil of the Faulty Tower Order of the Sith Lords. Yeah, is Jedi Master Nippo going to have him whacked because he knows the truth?
Right.
No Face, $4.99. They subverted expectations and subverted expectations again, which brings us full circle to everything being as expected. What a mystery. Right. Noons for $184.99 AEDs. I don't know what an AED is.
American Emirates, I think.
Yeah, okay, there you go. None of the Jedi. Arab Emirates, maybe. American Arab. What's the difference, X-Ray girl? We all look the same to you Canadians, don't we? None of the Jedi wanted to disturb Yoda because he was too busy getting jiggy with Yaddle. Braz Monkey for $10 says, if only they were writing this as a cautionary tale for dabbling in the dark side. Yes, they wrote it as a cautionary tale of being a Jedi. The Jedi are a cult. They're bad. May the Force be with you was used as an insult. In this show.
Oh, yeah.
Yanks fan, 84 for $4.99. Do you think the guy who played Soul is going to leave this show off his resume? I would, and I'd fire my agent too. Humanist Robert for 10 euros. My condolences to all Star Wars fans. I will reserve my righteous fury for Rings of Power Season 2. My source tells me Acolyte will have 18 seasons, says Arcel for 2 Canadian pesos. Nerd Takes for $1.99. Happy Acolyte is over day. Yes. Abstract JWL for $9.99. Thank you. No one is good in this show in a normal sense. The lesbian commie witches are the victims of the Jedi, and in Headlamp's world, that makes them good and Jedi bad. Darth Wayne carried the episode. Not much. Like, he's supposed to be evil, and they made him kind of like bad boyfriend. That was it. G-Man for $10. Disney took an oil lamp to the stone temple of the original trilogy. Burn it down! Viking Beach Bum for $5. To be clear, last week when I said this show stinks, I meant the Acolyte, not the Nooner. I know. I love the Nooner. Hell, I know. But I just got to assume that our show stinks too once in a while. Or all the time. John Platt, thank you for gifting one Nerdrotic membership. One Nerdrotic membership for $50. Did our memberships go up in price?
My bad.
It's like, shit. Oh, slow down, YouTube. What the fuck? Wacky Swacky for $10. You might call this fan fiction for its disregard for canon, but that is not accurate. Fan fiction is written by someone who likes the original material. This is the opposite. This is hater fiction. I'm not the biggest fan of fan fiction. If you want to make it, cool.
Same.
A lot of it is just in reverence to the material. A lot of it is weird slash fiction. But I would say if you're at least going to write the fan fiction, later repurpose it in your own story. People have done that in the past. Isn't that what Twilight is? No,
yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Repurposed fan fiction. Yeah.
It is actually, which is weird, but
Michael Rivate for 10 Canadian pesos. I have the comic where Vader bleeds a crystal. He almost failed to the point where it almost turned him to the light side of the Force and gave him a vision of what would happen if he killed Palpatine. You know, something earned. Make it earned. It was not earned. She just got mad and grabbed a lightsaber. Paul Tompkins for $1.99. Twister ripped off the superior book Heavy Weather. There you go. Michael for $10. I once wrote a screenplay called Frozen Stiff, a fair use adult parody of Disney's Frozen. I'm pretty sure it's better than The Acolyte. I am too, and I hadn't read it. Graph Web for $2. In the name of God, cancel Disney Plus. Well, you can't cancel. I can't cancel something I've already canceled. I got a new phone, Chris. Finally.
yeah.
Finally.
How big is it?
Yay.
Like an iPad?
No,
Was it the same one?
I didn't. I got away from the Z Fold. I got the A34, 24 plus, whatever the hell the latest Samsung one is. They're gonna get a new one's coming out next month, but I wasn't gonna wait. I don't care. I just got the biggest one you can get. That's a normal phone because the Z Fold sucked. I just didn't like it. But I got Netflix for free for a year.
Hey.
So I canceled my
Nice.
Netflix. I can't. Now I got it for free. There you go.
Good timing.
I got MLB TV for free too. Yeah. Watch my Padres like win 4 straight and then lose 9 straight. It's fucking awesome. Nick XH for 10 British pounds. Every time Mark Hamill sends a stupid tweet, someone should tweet at him and ask him if he's seen his granddaughter yet. Well, it turns out he did. David Phillips for $4.99. Thank you for the donation. It didn't say anything. Best name I could think of for $10. If you are looking for a new franchise, I recommend checking out Land and Sea by Blaine Pardoe. The books are based and badass. All right. They have a comic coming out and are working on a TTRPG with minis. So, okay. That's cool. Excellent. Make your own shit. Edward Frigid Hands for $2. Throbbing lightsabers. This is Disney Star Wars.
Ugh.
Matthew
dumb.
Fashin, 1993 for 100 Canadian pesos. I'm excited today because it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Matthew. I turned 31. Oh, man. The 30s are awesome.
So old, man.
30s are brilliant. That's when you start getting your stride. You stop. A 20-year-old is a teenager with rent. You know, that's it. You start getting into the age of wisdom, growing up a little bit. I love my 30s, but then it's followed by 40s, midlife crisis. So be ready for that. I had a great sleep and an awesome breakfast, and I got to relax and enjoy some video games and watching some side scrollers. And now the Nooner with you guys. Thanks for all you do. I hope you have a great happy birthday. Just chill.
Happy birthday.
The Netsrack for $10 on the Streamlabs side. Another one for Chris. Thank you very much for Film Threat for shipping from an EU country to an outside EU import Texas here in Taxes. Okay, sorry. I said Texas. The outside EU import taxes here in Denmark are atrocious. Take care, everyone. Yeah, fucking hell, dude. Dude, the VAT in the UK is stupid. The VAT tax is fucking stupid. David, yeah, fucking Europe, man. California is turning into Europe. Canada is turning into Europe. Oh, by the way, announced yesterday, because Gavin Newsom passed the law that teachers are no longer allowed to tell their parents if their kid comes in and says, I want to become a transmission, manual or automatic. No. They passed a law to where, like, the state is blocking information from getting to the parents. That's horrible. I mean, constitutionally, I don't know if this can hold up. I hope it gets fought. They'll have to fight it with another law, but that is the law. Elon Musk announced SpaceX, which was based in Hawthorne, California, is now moving to Texas. Twitter, now X, which was based in San Francisco, California, is now moving to Austin. Now, almost a lateral move, I would say, Elon. It's kind of a lateral move. He said, I'm tired of dodging homeless people. I was like, have you been to downtown Austin lately? I would have moved it here to San Antonio because we do not have that homeless problem Austin does. Or even fucking Dallas. Dallas is cleaner than Austin. But, yeah. But, hey, it's still moving to Texas. He's going to save a lot of money in taxes. A shit ton in taxes. It's better to do business here. So, hail Elon for moving to Texas. Good for you. Name one decision from any character anytime in the show that made sense, excluding killing the witches. I'll wait. Dave Phillips, I'm going to give that some thought for my video. All right? Thank you for the $4.99. I'm going to give that some thought. All right, let's get through these. Jesus, guys. You're being awesome. Bitcoin guy on the Streamlabs side for $10. Gary, you should show the 6-hour-old video from Defiant L's on Twitter showing an LGBT, you forgot the plus bigot, activist accidentally self-owning herself. Funny stuff. Hail the fellowship. Is it short? If it's short, we could show it because we do have to get out of here. We got 6 minutes and I don't know if I'm going to make it.
It says 6-hour-old.
6-hour-old tweet.
Oh.
Old.
Oh.
Yeah, T1S for $5. Yeah. If you want a recap, just rewatch all of EFAPs on the Rings of Power, you cowards. I recapped the Rings of Power with live streams and videos. So I did a live stream and a video for each episode, which I will be doing again. Thank God 3 episodes, I know everybody's groaning at that, are going to be shown at once, but that really helps me because then I don't have to be like Jeremy, who went to the RNC and completely missed the opportunity to do an Acolyte video, which he still can do, by the way. And have to do a Rings of Power video from Peru. I don't even know if I'm going to have internet. Like, I'll be recording it from Machu Picchu, my review of or Sacsayhuaman, or in Tatambo, doing a review in front of the polygonal wall of Rings of Power. That'd be kind of cool, actually. Alex Belfort for $2. He plaguist. He plaguist. I have not seen. Grizzy is probably working on a video right now. I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. Believe in yourself for 100 Martian pesos. May the dong be with you, eh? Primal Mike for $10. Longtime watcher, first time super chatter. There you go. We'll be gentle. You should check out the anime Solo Leveling. First season was great, and season 2 is coming out in the fall, I think. Also, check out Attack on Titan. I've checked out Attack on Titan. I like it, but I heard it goes south, but I'll stick with it. I still need to finish Parasite, the Maxim. That was really good. Christopher Peak for $5. Can we get Mystery Science Theater 3000 type episodes of Acolyte where Gary and Az and Tom Servo are Tom Servo and the Crow?
That's kind of like EFAP, right?
It's kind of EFAP. Yeah.
EFAP is a little MST3K.
I want a second season because you guys will make money and be entertaining. Plus, Star Wars is already dead. Star Wars is already dead. Albert, not a retro for 5 Canadian pesos. Sergeant Sluggo for $10. Leslie Headland, and this is a quote. Before the Acolyte is over, Anakin will have the soul of two black lesbians that converge on Shmi, also lesbian. Retcon that, you straight non-woke motherfuckers. It forces, see, they appropriate the lore. So activists appropriate the lore, so you would have to retcon their retcon, and then they can call you racist for doing it. See how this works? And the company will never do it because they're so afraid of being called racist. Now, if you had somebody with fucking testicles, would just go, I don't give a fuck. And that's happened a couple times. People don't understand, like, the not so subtle messaging in Star Trek Picard season 3 towards the end. Yes. Towards the end, when everybody under a certain age gets a Borg virus. Sergeant Sluggo for $10. Leslie Headland, before the Acolyte's over, Anakin will have... Oh, I read that one. Michael for $4.99, a throbbing lightsaber. If someone gets stabbed, would they say they were penetrated slowly, going deeper in and out? Maybe that was the description. Das Boot for £2 British. Roo Raff Roo-Roos. Roo-Raff-Roo-Roos. No one important for $2. Says, at least we got Raylo hand-holding. Oh, thank God. Loppy Loud for $4.99. We need a new IP to get lost in. With Westerns coming back, a true adaptation of King's Dark Tower book series would be huge. What do you say? As long as we didn't hear a single word from Stephen King, I'd be fine with that because I do like the Dark Tower series. I do. I'm pretty happy with House of the Dragon so far. Very happy with it.
Love it. Love it. Gets better with every episode.
Yep. So and Cobra Kai ends, but I'll be happy to see that. We also have another show coming out this Friday. Those Who Choose to Die. Is that what it's called, Chris? Anthony Hopkins.
I haven't seen the trailer for it, but I heard about it.
Yeah, I heard about it, and it's historical fiction. Takes place in Rome. Anthony Hopkins is in it. I'm going to give it a shot. Why the fuck not? Why not? So I've got plenty of shit to do this weekend. I'm even going to skip Twisters. I was going to watch Twisters, but no, I'm going to watch the TV shows instead. Because believe it or not, the primary if I have a choice between movies and TV show, this channel is started with TV shows, with prestige nerd TV shows. That is the thing I go to first. Now, of course, it's the Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'll review as many movies as I can, but a lot of reviews are going to go on daily. Like if I'll probably review Cobra Kai for daily, but other movies that I'll put those there. They'll be shorter reviews, kind of like a Jeremy Johns review. Will go on daily, but I prefer to watch a prestige series. That's good. That's kind of, for me, that's the highest form of entertainment right now. We get more characterization, more story. I'm more of a fan of serialized storytelling. Chris likes the film. And I understand that.
So there you go.
Alex Belfour for $5. Leslie Headland doesn't know willing suspension of disbelief. Probably doesn't know Samuel Taylor Coleridge either. No. Tobias Prin for $5. A lot of people are saying they don't want a season 2 of The Acolyte. I hope they make 12 seasons because I enjoy watching them fail and lose money. Yes, I'm all for acceleration at this point.
Same.
We are way past the time they should have pulled the plug on this and went, whoa. We need to hold the phone. We need to reset shit. Like Marvel's actually trying to do it. I'm not saying they're going to succeed, because they're not they're not pulling the plug on everything, but they are trying to course correct. Like Marvel is definitely trying to course correct. We'll see if they succeed, but at least they had the wherewithal to go, oh shit. But then they release Agatha after fucking Deadpool Wolverine. All that goodwill Dude. Ducky O'Brien, thank you for the £1 Appreciate it. Fable of Man for $99.99.
Nice.
Hail. Will never give Disney another cent. Lost my best friend on December of 21. Condolences. His favorite Star Wars character was Boba Fett. That same month, they released the Abomination Book of Boba Fett. May as well pissed on his grave. Hail the Fellowship. Those here, those no longer, and those to come. To absent friends. To absent friends. Yeah. I used to go to, like, every time I go to Southern California, down to Comic-Con, I would take a day or a half a day, mostly a day, and go to Disneyland. I would go to Disneyland. I love Southern California Disneyland. I've never been to Disney World, and now I will never be to Disney World. But Disney World's always looked too big, and I know that people who
big.
It's
big.
Disneyland is quaint, and when you walk in, it's fucking magical. It is really fucking cool, and it's all old school. You know, it still like really feels of the Disneyland from when it was built, and it's really easy to get from ride to ride. You do your little loop. Pirates of the Caribbean is right next to the Haunted Mansion. You hit both of those things at the same time. You hit Space Mountain and Star Tours right around the same time. Remember Inner Space? Inner Space was awesome. You know, it was fucking great. It's
also so close to Walt's vision. You can find the center of Disneyland where that spike is, right under the castle. There's the Tiki Room, where you can get a Dole Whip and watch
Jungle Cruise. So we would hit the Jungle Cruise first. That was my dad's tradition, was like, so I did that for my kid. Is like, we'd hit Adventureland, Jungle Cruise first, and then we make a loop, right? And by the way, this is back in the day where you could like get on every ride.
Yeah.
You waited in lines, but get on every ride. Fucking love Space Mountain. Space Mountain was the first roller coaster I ever rode. I was scared to death of them as a kid. And it's the first roller coaster. And you know how I got through it? I pretended I was the pilot of an X-Wing fighter. That's how I got through it. I was like 8. It's great. I have so many good memories. Like growing up, we went there to party and had all kinds of fun. Last time I was at a Disneyland park, it was live streamed. We were with Jeremy. It was 2019. It was after our very first meetup, and a bunch of us went up together who were at the meetup and went up to Disneyland. Jeremy had a friend who got us all in for free, and we checked out Galaxy's Edge. And it was the most boring fucking thing I've ever seen. And it was empty. It was fucking empty. This is the middle of summer. And it was empty.
It was so underwhelming. It's an outdoor shopping mall.
Yeah.
It's an outdoor, that's all it is.
It looks like a strip mall.
Everything
in
is
Baghdad.
overpriced. It's bad.
It's bad.
So bad.
We went on one of the rides. We went on the Millennium Falcon ride, right? I think that's the ride we went on. And it was totally forgettable.
It's okay.
No. I mean, I miss Pirates.
Pirates love it. But I've seen all those changes.
Yeah, it's not the Pirates of old, so forget it. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I don't buy Marvel Comics. For 99% of the Marvel movies I go to, I buy a ticket to another film and I just roll in. I had to buy tickets. Well, for my son, I had to buy tickets to Deadpool Wolverine. I don't feel bad doing that. I think it's going to be good. Yeah, I don't give him any money, but it's Disney owns so many fucking companies. We're all giving them money that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Rick Johnson for $5. We'll get season 2 about the same time Rian Johnson trilogy hits the silver screen. Agreed. But I want a season 2.
Yep.
The Playmaker, $12.71 for $5. Arcane is what the Acolyte could have been. That season 2 is coming out. A lot of people excited. Kaloth for $5 says, Hail, is there a version of Alien/Aliens on Blu-ray that covers all the footage cut from the theaters? Looking for the right release. Is there director's cuts out there, Chris?
Of Aliens? Yeah, but I mean, so many different versions.
Yeah, I don't know if like on the
I don't know what's.
Yeah, I don't know. Go to Digital Bits. They probably have some information there. That's an old website, man. Good old Digital Bits. Grumpy Old Wizard for $5. Sound and fury symbolizing nothing. The adversarial relationship between us and them. This will never stop. They win when we die as a generation. That's the problem with escalation, right? When you're talking about cancel culture. So the other side has escalated. They have been guilty of escalating the conversation to beyond hyperbolic levels, like beyond. They know Trump isn't Hitler. They know that, but they're saying it anyway because they want to win, because they don't want to win at all costs. And they don't care what it does to culture. And they don't care what it does to anybody's legacy. They don't care what it does to our country. They don't give a fuck because they're selfish little fucks. These are insecure, selfish little fucks who are just having a fucking tantrum all the time. And it's impossible to fight. It's damn near impossible to fight with honor. So sometimes you got to get in the mud. I understand that. But then that escalates everything. And ultimately, this is what the system wants. They want us fighting and escalating while they're in the background doing whatever the fuck they want. Trump is pretty anti-establishment.
Well,
he gets there. Hang on. He gets there for 4 years. He changes what he can, and then we're right back to the fucking same game.
Yeah.
Right back to the same game. They get what they want. The people start not trusting things like voting or the justice system. They get what they want because they could be the heroes to come in and fix it for our safety. For our safety. As comics would say, read 1984. Watch V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Watch Demolition Man. You know.
I'll just say, if Trump really is Hitler, if he really represents the end of democracy, if he is an existential threat to America, shouldn't the government do everything within their power to stop him? I mean, everything. Oh, wait.
They have.
They are.
Here's the problem. Here's the big problem with this, contrasting it with 2016. And I said this on Rumble. We have this is unique in history. This might be the only time this happens in your lifetime and mine. We have two presidents running against each other, and we've seen their terms.
Yeah.
Not just a bunch of promises, not just a bunch of bullshit. We have seen 4 years of Trump, 4 years of Biden. So we've seen them at their job.
We know their records.
So if Trump was all that, where are the gulags? Where are the camps? Oh, Australia built those. Look at Canada.
It's just weird to call someone those names and then disingenuously say, well, I hope for a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
It's you see the hypocrisy right plain. And I don't know, man. It's
where does it end, Chris? I don't know, but
yeah.
We need to try to end it while it's still a battle of ideas and talk, and not a battle of some other kind.
Well, it's 3.5
because then
months.
Everybody loses.
Yeah. It's a long time between now and November. Long time.
It is. Albert, not a retro for 5 Canadian pesos of Shmi Skywalker had met Mark Hamill when she was pregnant. Anakin never would have been born. He'd have convinced her to delete her baby. Oof. Anner's no good for $19.99. Thank you all for today. The Nooner is always such a great hang hail. Thank you. Scott Jones for 2 British pounds. Ditto, Chris. 81 wasn't even political. Love you, man. Jodie Foster.
Oh, yeah.
Jodie Foster. And that guy wouldn't have got what Jodie Foster, it turns out.
Yeah.
He's out. He's free. That's crazy. The guy who shot Reagan, let go.
Weird.
Caveat ties for $1.99. Kamala laughs with the power of one, two, and many. Ride the guy for $5. One thing, what happened to Trump is that it exposed all the fake love everybody people. Now you truly know what frauds they are. Oh, the people who are the tolerant left.
Right, right.
The tolerant folks. Yeah, they've always been full of shit. 10 euros just to say that Furiosa is an awesome film. Probably got bad rep because people are fed up with the female leads. Yes. To those who haven't seen it, please do. I would say see it. It's on streaming. I think it's VOD right now. I think if you have a good home theater, I think it's worth a watch. Chris?
Yep.
Furiosa, worth a watch? Yes, I absolutely think it's worth the watch. Great gear porn, great action. And Anya Taylor-Joy is a better Furiosa. She is.
That's true.
But it's still like, I'm more interested in the bad guy. Chris Hemsworth owns that movie. He's so fucking good in it.
Yeah.
Mr. Burns for $10. Hail, Gary. Griffin Whittier went there all the time. Worked there in 1986, had annual passes through the late 90s, used to love all things Disney. They lost me. Will never take my grandkids there again. Yes, I remember going with the California discount, and you got the year-round passes, and they were relatively cheap. That was a long time ago, though. I remember you could go there on a Tuesday in February, and it'd be empty.
I love that.
Yep. Offer Nave for $5. Paul McCartney isn't the Beatles. Roger Waters isn't Pink Floyd. And George Lucas isn't Star Wars. The prequels are just a solo album. I agree.
Oh, good way of putting it.
Yep. Space Samurai Cowboy for $2. Last Jedi PTSD brought me here. Thank you, guys. Thanks for being here. Rotisserie dial phones for the win. Rotisserie. Rotary. I meant to say rotary. I said rotisserie. Yeah. Same thing. Big word for $10. Hail, Gary, Gore, X-Ray, and chat. Honestly, you guys should all combined minutes watch across all the Fellowship's channels. I'd love to know the number up against the actual ratings. Live long and prosper. I can give you my minutes watched. It's nowhere near what it's not bazillions. It's millions. Y'all should come to do Comic Palooza in Houston sometime. There's a cool bar, a block from the convention center downtown that has comic nooks. I've seen that bar. How am I supposed to? Oh, the Exodus. Okay. Nate for $5. Just finished watching Jeremy John's review. Even he constantly got the sisters mixed up in the review because they've been so inconsistent. Yes. It got really confusing at the end. Xander Z for $5. An Axios editor wants the raised fist photo of Trump banned because it's too powerful of an image and the Trump campaign could use it. Well, it's already being used. Can't unmake that soup, baby. Pygmy Splints for $5. 40K truly is the last bastion of good Western content. Now for wrath, now for ruin, and the world's ending. I would say Lord of the Rings isn't touched. I mean, Rings of Power is out there, but it doesn't hurt Lord of the Rings. It's a joke. Also, Mr. Johns, Walter White put in the grind to amass 80 million, which seems like a lot, is less than half the budget of the Acolyte. Half the budget. Inakbamon, abuser of Streamlabs for $10. So Odin was able to make it through the entire stream of Tuesday night's main event, but he can't stay for an hour of Friday Night Tights. I guess we know where his priorities lie.
Yeah.
Getting roasted. Sir Chi 87 for $2. Chris Gore, make a blaxploitation indie film, please.
I'm not the one to do it. I'm not, but thank you. I'm working on some movies right now.
Peaked Panda for $5. Master Vernesta, I'll fix the cover up that didn't need to be covered up with another cover up and to deceive the Senate. Genius. I know it was so retarded at the end. It gets
dumb.
Ultra retarded at the end. Hand shot first for $5.
Real quick, it ends with her going to a meeting.
Yes.
It's so dumb. It ends with her going to a meeting. That's like so corporate, so like write what you know. I'm going to a meeting at Disney. Sorry, Gary.
Sorry, hand shot first for $5. I heard Acolyte Season 2 will finally bring dinosaurs into Star Wars, featuring the lesbian dinosaur.
I died reading this.
Lickalotopus. Lickalotopus. Mark Hamill, hairy ass for $2. Hail, everyone. Hail. Artie Blarty Fart Blast. Biden 2028. L for $5. Ever go to the Thirsty Turtle Bar in San Antonio? Best time when I visited. I don't go to bars. I'll have to ask Mrs. Nerdrotic for that one. Volt Cake for $10. There's an AI Trump cover of Many Men by 50 Cent. Oh, I saw it and it's hilarious. I saw it. Cabral for $5. Don't forget about One Piece either. The casting for season 2 is great so far. It is. No, I can't wait. I actually, I'm starting a rewatch for probably the 6th time. I need something that I always watch something good before I watch The Acolyte. So I rewatch a show that's just good. And then I follow it up once I'm done with my review by watching something good. Epic Guest for $9.99. Friends, countrymen, lend me your ear. Lend me your ear. Oh, gotcha. Negan, Jack Napier for 5 Canadian pesos. What's the real reason preventing you guys from coming to Canada? I love to meet you guys. Shake your hands in respect for all your videos. Keep it up.
Trudeau?
Trudeau?
Yeah.
Passports sometimes. Depends on the person.
Passports. It's really far north. It's cold there.
I mean, Jay and Gina come to Canada sometimes, it looks like. So, you know. There's that.
I mean, maybe we'll get up there when I'm staying in Wisconsin. Like next year, we're going to start spending our summers in Wisconsin. I'm going to have a studio up there and everything. Wisconsin.
I understand.
That's close to Canada. Attila Soven for 1,000 Martian pesos. X-Ray always sits there in silence. I thought women are good in talking. Let's hear your voice more, girl.
I have to do a lot of stuff, so sometimes
She's busy.
I can't even talk.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Jedi Punk 85 for $5. Theory that I hope isn't true. Smilo Ren and Osha are Palp's parents, but Plagueis, the real Sith, kills the 2 posers, then trains Darth Sidious. I don't think the math would work out, but not that matters. Fiesta Cat for $4.99. Space Mount was my first coaster too. I also pretended to be a Star Wars pilot. Thanks for sharing that memory. Yeah, that's how I got through it, because I was hitting the age where I can't be scared to go on anymore, right? I have to man up, because my mom, my dad, and my sister wanted to go on, and nobody was going to stay back. So they're like, "You're going on. It's happening." My dad's all, "It's time." Jacob Jass for 5 British pounds. 50 Shades of Grey was Twilight fan fiction. Sorry, I got it reversed. 50 Shades of Grey was Twilight fan fiction. Twilight itself, it wasn't fan fiction. There you go. It just reads like it. It just reads like it. Grunt 812 for $2. Preach, brothers and sisters. Fuck Joe Biden. Love y'all. Lance Corporal Waffles for $1.99. Lobotomies are a cure for mental illness, right? Well, maybe we should start bringing back, John Nees for $4.99. This is the last one. OSHA / May is the same type of dichotomy as Chris / Frank. 2 entities, 1 soul.
True.
All right, we got to get out of here. We went long. Chris, what do you got coming up?
The funeral starts at 1 p.m. There are already hundreds of people in the waiting room or just waiting for it. I sent the link to X-Ray Girl. Maybe she can share it.
We're rating it, so don't worry.
Oh, you're rating? Okay, good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
You can go there, save it. The guest lineup is insane. Something like this has never been tried on YouTube. It's like I compare it to Battle of the Network Stars. So many people going, everyone dressed formally. So all the guys are wearing black suits, women in black dresses, black veils, like you're going to a funeral. Do you have a veil, X-Ray Girl?
No.
All right. Well, that's okay. Maybe you can take some fishnets and put it over your face.
Oh my god.
Proper.
Fish.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So come check it out, Gary. I'll send you a link. Come on whenever. It's gonna go for a long time. It's a global event, and to be clear, this is a very serious funeral that's taking place on YouTube. So not a joke. It's not to be mocked. It's a completely serious, dead serious thing. So join us in a couple hours. I got to get ready.
All right. You got to get ready. X-Ray Girl, what do you got coming up?
I might be visiting a funeral this evening. Didn't think about it until recently, but I got to give a good.
Is it your dad?
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while. So I'm also going to be playing Elden Ring tonight in Poor Choices at 9 p.m. Eastern. So there you go.
There you go. I'm going to be working on the last Acolyte video. We'll have a super cut coming out, and then I have one more Disney Star Wars video planned. It's more evergreen, and that will be it.
Gary, that's your
for the
title.
Year.
No, that's your title.
What's
the
that?
Last Acolyte. The Last Acolyte.
The Last Acolyte. The Last Acolyte. I have another title in mind, but that maybe we are at the end. Thank God. Yeah. If for those of you who want me to review something else, Deadpool Wolverine will be right after that. I'll be doing a video while I'm at Comic-Con. That's the one I plan on doing. But I'll also have some stuff for you while I'm gone for a week. There will be no Nooner next week.
But possibly.
But we have on Thursday, we have Mark Millar. I'll be live with Mark Millar early in the morning with Az, and we will be doing a talk with Mark Millar. He's got a new book coming out, Nemesis, and hopefully we can carve out some time to talk about Clarkson's Farm. And then, of course, we have Friday Night Tights coming up with Star Wars Theory and Mauler. Star Wars Theory and Mauler. So it's going to be a fun week. And then we get to go to Comic-Con and see what's going on there. So thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. Thanks to the lurkers. Thanks to everyone who participated. We will see you next time. Ciao.
Nerdrotic.com.